Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're going to go over what would happen if Light Fang got more support. If you haven't seen, a couple weeks ago I posted a video about what if Nightclaw got more support. This is just a follow-up to that because I figured if I did Nightclaw, I might as well do Light Fang, and we might do a video of the two archetypes facing against each other. So, starting with our level 4s, Light Fang technically already has two level 3s, so I gave them level 4s. Nightclaw has the Gaugamon. Light Fang got an Agumon, so we're going to give Light Fang two level 4s. The first one will be Airdramon. This is a 5 cost to play, 3 cost to evo, unless you go on Light Fang Nightclaw, then it costs 2. On play when digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers with the Light Fang trait, you get to play one from your hand without paying the cost. You can't see the inheritable, but I will read it to you. It says, when attacking once per turn by trashing the top card of your security, this Digimon with the Light Fang trait gains on deletion trigger recovery +1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Now that might sound really weird, but the point of that inheritable is to try to get you to delete your own stack to fish for effects that trash your own security, or do things when they are trashed from your security safely without costing you your actual security and causing you to lose the game. So we'll go over my little spark notes on each card as well. This is a reference to Airdramon from the Speed Pack in Digimon World Dawn. Has the abilities to play Tamers for free. That helps the archetype keep up with increasingly faster decks. Same with the Clockmon in the Nightclaw deck. It's just helping you get your Tamers down so you can actually compete with the faster and faster decks that we get in more and more sets. Trashing security threatens to give a security back during opponent's turn or on self-delete. So because that on-deletion effect sticks around till the end of your opponent's next turn, you're also threatening to effectively recover 1 if your opponent deletes your Digimon, whereas if they wait, you effectively just go down a security, so you kind of force your opponent to make some decisions. And the net 0 security change allows safe fishing for security trash effects, so things like Odin's Breath, Revelation of Light, and some other cards that we will be adding to this archetype that do things when they're trashed from security. Next, we have the level 4 Repamon. This will also be 5 cost to play, 3 on a level 3, or 2 on a Light Fang or Nightclaw trait. Ignore that typo in the card. This will, when an effect trashes this card from the security, you get to play it without paying the cost, so similar to the Gatomon that does the same thing. This will have jamming and barrier. We are trying to make Light Fang a really aggressive archetype, while we're trying to make Nightclaw a really control-oriented archetype. And then your turn, once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. This is made to synergize with the Airdramon effect that allows you to recover, so you can manipulate your security, get memory back, and not actually worry about losing resources. This will also have a barrier inheritable because Light Fang already really likes to swing and get a lot of checks, so the barrier is going to offer you some protection on your stack in case the opponent claps back with a swing over your Apollomon or your new level 6. So this is a reference to the Japanese pack from Dawn. You get a Repamon in that pack. It has the ability to be played from security if trashed by Airdramon's effect or other trashing effects. So if you splash other cards that trash security effects, this will also be a live target for those fishing effects. The jamming barrier combo is about as aggro as it gets. The other thing I considered for this would have been jamming rush, no barrier, so that if you play it off of the trash effect, you could swing with it immediately. But considering the Apollomon and the access to Blitz Omnimon, it's already pretty easy to potentially OTK with the Galaxy engine, so I didn't want to give you too much ability to just close out the game with 1 stack. And then the barrier inheritable, again, keeps aggressive top-end plays from being punished. You have to trash the security if you want to keep your stack, but you might just let it go. So that is our second level 4 for this deck. For our level 5, this is a mouthful, but I tried to do the same thing I did with the Skull Greymon, if you saw that, where there is kind of an almost mediocre effect that gets better if you have more sources. So this will be 4 on a level 4 or 3 on a level 4 with Light Fang or Nightclaw in its traits. When digivolving, you will trigger recovery +1. Then if your opponent has 3 or more security, or if this Digimon has 4 or more Digimon in its Digivolution cards, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So in a perfect world, this is going to create a discrepancy of 2 security, which is really good. But if not, it's just a recovery level 3. Recovery level 5, and then all turns once per turn when a card is removed from your security stack, this Digimon can't be returned to the hand or deck by their effects until the end of their next turn. So the point of that is that we're going to have a level 6 that does things on deletion. We have the Airdramon inheritable that makes it so on deletion you recover 1. We're trying to force the opponent to delete our stack if they're going to out it rather than bouncing it, so that we get our on deletion effects. The inheritable says all turns once per turn when a card is removed from your security stack, this Digimon with the Light Fang trait gains security attack +1 until the end of your turn. So you're fishing for your trash effects and you're trying to get security attack +1 off of this card, tying into the really aggressive archetype we're trying to make Light Fang into. Now, this Digimon is a reference to the attack pack in Digimon Dawn. It recovers you 1 security and gives advantage if you're doing the Galaxy thing. If the trash effect resolves, it gives bounce protection, which, like we talked about, plays into the on-deletion archetype that we're kind of giving the new level 6. Bounce protection forces enemy to delete for removal, which will give you value. And the inheritable threatens aggro an opponent's turn when attacked into. Because this lasts until the end of your next turn, if your opponent swings into you, a security card is removed, which gives you security attack +1 through your next turn. So if your opponent swings into you, you're actually threatening to clap back with the additional security effect. I moved my camera up to the top corner so you can actually see this card. This is our new level 6. It's going to be Ophanimon. This is a reference to Chief Glaire's partner Digimon. It is 5 on a level 5 or 4 on a level 5 with the Light Fang trait. Ignore the typo. This Digimon has Blitz, and then when Digivolving, trigger recovery +1. Then for each card in your security stack, you may choose one of your opponent's Digimon and give it -2k until the end of their next turn. That sounds really underwhelming. End of attack, if this Digimon has 5 or more sources, you may delete this Digimon to give all of your opponent's Digimon -10k until the end of your turn. So what is the point of this new level 6? I want you to be trimming down your opponent's board, so you're using the -2k to get everything into the range of that -10k DP. We have lots of recovery effects, so the point would be that your security is big enough that you can wipe the opponent's board. It does not last until the end of your opponent's turn, so we do not have a ruin mode type effect. This is just supposed to be more or less an equalizer for the board. You lose your stack, your opponent loses all of their Digimon in a perfect world. And I think that it complements the Apollomon. As the other level 6 Apollomon wants to swing and get lots of damage, well, when there's things in the way, you throw the Ophanimon down and you remove your opponent's entire board. So again, this is a reference to Chief Glaire's partner Digimon. The Blitz keeps in theme with Light Fang being aggressive, and it has a recovery effect for yellow. It has a conditional DP reduction / wipe, but only if you're doing the Galaxy thing. So if you don't have enough sources, you don't actually get to board wipe. And then the source limitations on this plus Mega Seedramon trying to make the deck lean into aggressive themes with recovery when you do the Galaxy thing. So this, in contrast to Nightclaw, which was trying to give you some bounce effects, some control, board trimming, blockers, stuff like that, and floodgates. When you're doing the Galaxy thing, this is trying to recover you, let you do lots of checks, wipe your opponent's board, remove their bodies when you're doing the Galaxy thing. So they're trying to mirror each other and take advantage of different aspects of their respective clans, I suppose. Our new Tamer will be Chief Glare. I don't know what that effect is going on there. This is the chief of the Light Fang group. He says, start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon with the Light Fang in its traits, you gain 1 memory on play and main by suspending this Tamer and placing the top card of one of your Light Fang trait Digimon as that Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with the Light Fang in its traits in your hand without paying the cost. That Digimon gains Blitz until end of turn. That is a lot of times to say Digimon in one sentence, but this is basically the same effect as the Sayo and Ko. You just tap it to shuffle into a new Digimon, and that is to substitute the Ko and Sayo, which we're pretending is restricted to 1 because I think it'll happen at some point. This rewards you with memory for leaning into the Light Fang instead of a mixed deck. So instead of going Light Fang Nightclaw like the Galaxy engine currently does, this rewards you for just being a Light Fang deck. It's going to give an additional way to shuffle the top stack outside of Coronamon and Ko and Sayo, because Ko and Sayo in this world is restricted to 1, and Coronamon is 1 card in your 50-card deck. And the Blitz keyword, because this is a red card and it's Light Fang, and we want to be aggressive since Nightclaw is control. So I'm trying to give you some ways to play your bottom end and be aggressive with it, rather than just sitting and building a big stack. So now you can shuffle your security, or sorry, shuffle your level 6s to get different effects, and you can be swinging in with smaller bodies to actually get value that way as well. We have the barrier effect on the Repamon, so we kind of allow you different ways to play the deck depending on what stage you're at with your stack. And for our option, because Nightclaw got 1, you're going to have to ignore this abhorrent image of a Ophanimon, but there's not a lot out there. We have Sephiroth, Crystal. If you have a Light Fang Digimon, you ignore color requirements. When an effect trashes this card from security, activate this card's security effect, which activates this card's main effect. Main, choose 2 of your opponent's Digimon, then give one of them -5k DP and one of them -10k. For every 3 Digivolution cards under one of your Digimon with the Light Fang trait, increase the DP values of this effect by 2k DP. So this mirrors the Nightclaw option, where if you have a Digimon and you're doing the Galaxy thing, this is a really strong removal piece that helps you win harder. It is effectively a -14k DP reduction on a Digimon if you're doing the Galaxy thing, which rewards you because -14k is going to hit most things on the board. When you don't have a stack, this is a very okay option. It's probably going to delete a level 4 and a level 5, and it gives you advantage again if you do the Galaxy thing. And because this activates when you trash this from your security, it's going to play into our attempts at trashing our security to fish for those security effects. So what would a sample deck list look like? You're going to have to ignore my face here. I did this for the Nightclaw, so I'll do it for Light Fang as well. I'd run the 4 Sunmons just because this is the Light Fang egg, 4 Coronamons, 4 Ukomons, and 4 Agumons. We have our 2 Light Fang rookies and the Ukomon Searcher because it does find us our Tamers, and we have a good bit of them in this deck. I want to make sure that we are not sitting on a stack with no Tamers on the board basically ever, which should be pretty easy with the Agumon Searcher as well. We have 4 copies of the Airdramon because we want to be stripping away our security and then re-recovering it to get our security trash effects. 4 copies of the Repamon because jamming barrier is really good. It's good for early chip, and if we get to trash it, we get a free body that's doing barrier chip things. 2 copies of Furamon. We don't have basically any cards with the Nightclaw trait, so this can actually whiff some cards to bottom deck, but it does search us a Light Fang piece. We have 4 copies of the Mega Seedramon because I think the recovery +1 and the bounce protection is better than Flaremon's effect, but we have 3 Flaremons because that's our other Light Fang level 5. I'm on 3 copies of Ophani and 4 on Apollomon. I think Apollomon is generically just a better level 6 to be getting into. It swings, it does a ton of damage in one go, but the Ophanimon being able to recover you is also really strong, and you do want to have the board wipe when you need it. 2 copies of the Sephiroth Crystal, and I'll skip around a little bit. 2 copies of the Odin's Breath. These are our trashing effect targets, more or less. The Repamons gives us 8 targets that we can potentially trash and get value off of, which I think is pretty okay. If there's more space in the deck, I would have liked to have more cards, but it is already pretty tight as is. 4 copies of offense training to help us get into our stack. I feel like you could go either offense training or the physical training, but offense I think hits more targets. And then we have 4 copies of Chief Glare to help us gain memory, 1 copy of Coincido because it's a memory setter, and in this world, same as the Nightclaw rules and stipulations I set, this is restricted to 1 in this world, and 1 copy of Kari Kamiya because we do have ways to recover, so we might as well get some memory off of it when we do. So that's going to be it for this What If video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How does this compare to the Nightclaw support that I had in another video? Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, and Coffee Deus who make videos like this possible.